Welcome. You're watching New Attitude, and I'm your host, Anastasia Rivers. This episode is covering one of the winners for the Taste of St. Croix that we had recently. But before we bring on the chefs, we have Farmer Brown here. Welcome, Farmer Brown.
Nice to be here.
And his wife,
Yvette Brown.
Miss Farmer Brown.
That will work.
And we have a Dansky, my co-host, and Dean Baptiste also. But what Farmer Brown is going to do is share the nutritional value of the produce that was in the competition that the two chefs did. That was Chef Bryson and Chef Davis. So I want you to tell me more or less what you remember all the ingredients that they had.
Okay, let's start with the protein. The protein was lamb, was locally raised. So protein is protein, so it nutritionally helps the body to function. That was locally raised, grass-fed, no hormones, no antibiotics of whatever sort. That's totally raised on the farm.
Let me cut you off a minute. I went to Leatherback Brewery and they said that you just do the barley. They give you the grains. The sheep get some of those grains?
Sheep get some of that.
Yes.
Especially now with the weather being as tight it's going to be going forward.
Sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
That's fine. So now we are giving them supplementing their feed with that so that they can maintain their health during the dry weather. The other thing that was a part of it was kohlrabi. Kohlrabi is a brassica. Brassica is high in protein, especially B12. That's kohlrabi, and it's actually a root crop also. Also included with the kohlrabi is zucchinis, as a squash, and they are a lot of antioxidants in squashes. All these are locally grown. Also, I think in the rice, the rice is a jasmine rice, and even though the rice is not local, in order to infuse a local product into it, the chef used pure coconut water along with coconut milk.
The fresh one?
Yes, into the rice. Also lemongrass. So he did a wonderful job on that. The lamb was glazed with tamarind. The tamarind glaze on the lamb. I hope you got pictures of today.
Yeah, he's supposed to be providing me with some pictures.
Yes.
But I just wanted you to share your part because when I invited Mark and Bryson and Mark, they said they have to have you because you're the one provided. So it felt good because then you could give us all the information and then they could give us the background and what inspired them.
The beauty of local food is that it is not over a week or prior to consumption. The difference with imported food is that you're looking at food that is most likely a month or more older before you consume it. So what is in a part of agriculture is called post-harvest technology. Post-harvest technology that include harvesting from the field, which is done by hand, and then the washing, and then it goes to refrigeration. Once it's in the refrigeration, it reduces the aging process on the product. But while it's there, the product is still being aged. So by the time you get it, but slower. By the time you get it, maybe in a month or 6 weeks to 2 months, then the product is of no use. So if you leave that product out on your counter within a matter of a day, it can deteriorate. Versus something that is just recently picked and left on your counter. It can stay up to 3-4 weeks.
And this lovely lady here is your backbone.
No, not just my back.
I'm 3/4, he's a quarter.
Okay.
That's my right
I'm the
hand.
better half.
Your right hand, okay. Hey. Well, at least you're right-handed, so she does everything.
So she sits on my left side. What was the left hand?
So you got two right hands.
I got two right hands.
That's nice. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your role that you play with Farmer Brown.
Well,
I come there and I buy, so I know. Yeah.
I influenced him into this farming endeavor
Okay.
because I did agriculture. My major is agriculture, and so when we met, I had just come out of college and stuff. Well, I was in college when we met, and I kind of enticed him. We started off small and enticed him to get into that with me, and so we have been down that road for the past 31 years.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Doing that, and then we was just doing a little network at home. A few animals with the kids, kind of like the pet turned into something else, and
So you raise a pet and then eat it?
That's the best.
Oh, let me tell you, that remind me of a pet goat I had. Oh.
and then we escalated into major production and on to helping other farmers develop, and then we're here what we are today.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
You have any questions?
So, you said that the only difference between the local lamb and the imported lamb is age?
Not just local lamb, but producers as well. Now, when it comes to meat production, I can go further with meat production, I can go further with crop production. Meat production on a mass commercial scale. You have animals that have been given antibiotics to maintain their health, along with hormones to enlarge them to meet a specific market. And generally, when those meats are processed, they are actually, you never find blood in meat in the supermarket. Okay, it really doesn't find blood even when you slaughter an animal, that is drained. So most of what you're seeing is just the color of liquid or water. Okay, but packaging import food or import product, you find that you can have a smoked ham before the ham is smoked. You could have different flavors added to the lamb, or pig or cattle or whatever the protein is. And it can sit on the shelf in minimum refrigeration
Because
for a
it's,
long period.
because of the process.
Because of the process. You can't do that to local meat. No.
So
it wouldn't be able to smoke it, and it won't be able to.
You can smoke it, but I'm talking about the preservative.
Oh.
How to preserve it longer. And the best way to preserve local meat is just to freeze it. But these other meats, you find them in this section of the supermarket that there's no freezing. You look at it, there's no freezing done, it's just cold air being blown and kept at a particular temperature. You probably can do the same thing with local meat, but then what's added to it makes a difference, and the way the animal is raised makes a difference.
All right. So the ingredients that Chef Bryson and Chef Davis had was all local, fresh grown, healthy stuff, healthy food. That's good. That's the reason why we wanted you here to give an explanation of that. Now, what role you play with those two chefs that they insist that you be here?
Well, we have annually bush cook, chef cook.
Oh.
Bush cook, chef cook is actually using our locally grown produce.
Yeah,
it's from our farm along with other farmers, but it's totally locally grown. The herbs, the protein, the vegetables is all locally grown. And what we do at the bush cook is actually we invite 20 chefs.
Yes, I know about
and those 20 chefs actually
I know about that.
Doesn't know what they're going to prepare on that day. So the only thing they have access to at least a week or days in advance is the protein, which is rabbit, chicken, lamb, beef, or whatever is
It's
available.
interesting. It's very interesting.
And then when they come to the farm, on the day of the bush cook, all is laid out for them to look at. and then they decide on spot what they're going to prepare.
So Mark,
Chef Mark and Taga of Bryson is actually the ones. They were involved in the bush cook
or
for
they,
2 consecutive
okay.
events.
Second years.
Yeah.
So I admire that you're influencing the young guys and getting them involved and be a part of it, and just the appreciation they have for you that they wanted you to be here. This is your second time being on my show, so they didn't have to pressure or say they have to have you, because I know what Farmer Brown is all about.
But
You know?
but the concept is that for us at the farm is that our young people is key to our future. And we have so many negatives that are going on in our community right now concerning our young people. The anything that is negative is highlighted on a daily basis in our community about our young people. And anything that is done good is always in the background. And so our focus was that anything we can do to help our young people build themselves and we can, whether it's a small or large scale, we're gonna do it. And so after the bush cook and these 2 young chefs said, they want to do something for themselves, they want to be able to develop themselves, but they don't have the resource or anything. And I said to them, look, I have a kitchen on the farm, it has stove, everything was there for the bush cook. It's gonna sit there all year with no one using it, the equipment and everything is in the kitchen. Start your thing, do your thing, build your thing. There's no cost to it, all your responsibility is the tank of gas when it's empty, and that's it. And that's all they respond, and they do their thing.
So for the bush cook, you guys provide everything that they need?
Everything for the bush cook.
At no cost to the chefs, because they are contributing the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
People pay to come to it. So this is where, sometimes you have to give to get.
Yeah.
So you give them this, and then people come in and you get from that.
And it's the same thing with what they're doing now. Taga, that's his nickname, Mr. Bryson.
He's my cousin,
Yeah, he does his daily sales, and whatever he uses from the farm, we don't charge him for any of that.
So
That's for him to develop himself.
I've never been in a farm. I didn't get to
That
take
is,
a
Yeah,
we want him to build himself and get better, so that down the road he can say, well, when I have this, I've been given the opportunity to be able to build myself, and I can come back now and have my own thing. And
Let me tell you, the lamb I get from him, I don't have to, it's so tender. It cooked really good, the lamb, and I get some of my vegetables from him as well.
No, I've never been in a farm. We always have to take a trip.
Yeah,
I've been Mr. Brown for a long time, but yeah, I live so close, yes. But what produces and what animals do you grow on your farm?
We are specialized in local greens, specifically greens. Kale, Swiss chard, all the brassicas, which include cabbages, kale, kohlrabi, all of these stuff. We do tomatoes, cucumbers, watermelon, pumpkin, lemongrass, different herbs. And it depends on the time of the year. We try to maximize on the weather pattern that we have. Like right now, we're going into a new season, and that new season requires things that are going to take the tolerance of heat, or heat tolerant. So you look at pumpkin, watermelon, cucumbers. We're going to still push the lettuce and all of these stuff that requires a cooler temperature, but we have to at least trick them to
Before we take a break, because I'm going to bring on the chef, I just want to remind you, I need to say anything else. Your wife talk about things that we want to do with the youths, and I gonna put him on blast. I asked him to come here and help me get my farm going for my young people. So maybe, but you know what? But no, I put you on blast. But I realize I forgive you because I see what you're doing for my cousin and others. So you're forgiven, but you're still in off the hook because I want the best to come here. So now you know where the place is.
I don't put myself on blast. If somebody blasts you, you blast yourself. Though. The bottom line is that for just the both of us, we're doing a lot. Okay, quite a number of stuff.
I realize that.
And I don't want to overextend myself.
Good.
And once I know the time is available, I can do that.
We'll be right back with Bryson and Davis. Welcome back. You're watching New Attitude, and I'm your host, Anastasia Rivers.
Co-host Dean Baptiste.
And Dansky Henry.
And we're here with, what do you pronounce that? Tajah,
Yeah,
Bryson, and Mark Davis. Both of them are chef, and the one both of you did together won the Taste of St. Croix.
Yeah.
But you all would team up together.
Yeah, this is our team right
Okay,
here.
so they win the Taste of St. Croix, and I invited them to come here and share their experience and also about how they became chef.
Because we always ready, whether it's in the kitchen, indoors, or kitchen outdoors.
Do you prefer to do the bush cook?
No preference.
No preference,
It's
as
just
long
once
as
they got
it's good
fire.
food,
Okay.
good quality product, locally sourced product.
I can start from recent. How does it feel to be the top chefs in, when everybody come together and put their spread and you come out on top?
Well, truth be told, and this is the sweetest part. I was just along for the ride. Cause when you got a brother that's strong, and things just in the right place, right time, you gotta stand strong with one another and put everything out. Terrence handled all the dishes for the winning dish our Taste of St. Croix, from the roasted lamb to the lemongrass, coconut scented jasmine rice, and the Sajah stir fry. I was just there to make sure it all flowed out properly, because all you gotta do is trust your partner and everything goes right, So that's how it works out.
Yeah.
So which one has the degree and which one is the street cook?
You can take that one.
He's a street cook. Mark is the one with the degrees. But in saying that, there from the time that you met him, there's certain techniques that he would do in the kitchen that I take up, especially when it comes to dealing with meat.
And vice versa.
Believe me, I see Mark in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I saw.
So then was you both learn from each other, crossing, what you know.
Put it this way, he's fire and I'm ice. That's how it really works. That's how it really
That's
works.
really nice.
And it's true culinary alchemy. Like, we could get together, you put any situation in front of us, we're gonna take 5 minutes and be like, yeah, we're gone.
Yeah.
It don't matter
So
what
what
it is.
made you get into it, into wanting to cook? Was it seeing somebody or tasting some kind of food?
So I don't know if we really want to talk about this. but the truth is the truth. So
yeah.
So at the end of the day, I used to paint boats, like deal with boats at the marina and stuff, and I bump into some stuff that I should have probably just leave where I find it and went on the road. And police stopped me and I'm getting arrested for it being there. But in my defense, like, they had an amnesty program where you carry it to the police station and you ain't supposed to get in trouble. So I was on the way to the police station, but before I could reach, I got in trouble. Yeah. The marina fired me. I didn't have a job, I came out on probation, needed a job. And one of my good friends, he always wanted to be a chef. So he said, well, hey, you got a dishwashing position. You could come in and wash dishes so you can at least stay out of trouble. Alright. I gotta take the dishwashing position, but he's like, hey, wash dishes, and it'd be like mountains. Wash them, and then it's like, ain't got no more dishes. I go downstairs and sleep. You is not supposed to sleep. So one day, I wash all the dishes, gone on sleep, wake up, gone up there, wash the dishes, ain't got no more dishes, gone downstairs, sleep. The main chef for the restaurant now, where's the dishwasher? Downstairs, ain't got no more dishes for you to wash. He probably sleeping. He woke me up. I didn't even get to wake up this time. He woke me up, and he's like, you need to find something else to do with your time while you're here, because you're gonna lose your job if you keep sleeping. I was like, well, I mean, I see you guys run out of stuff. I could help you with prepping. And I'm like, well, I don't know if you could cook. So try and make something today out of anything. And if I like it, I give you a chance.
What a story.
So
What a
I
story.
make the first thing I ever learned how to make was barbecue chicken for my grandmother over the phone. But I had to cook for my son then we check, and I didn't know what to do. So I called her and she explained it to me. So I made barbecue chicken and mashed potatoes. I was like, two things I know I could make, and you can't say it tastes bad. Well, that was then. That was like back in 2011, 2012. And then they gave me the job as prep, so I wash dishes. No, I come in and prep, and then wash dishes. But then now, because I was prepping, the amount of dishes that's there is like 10 times worse than when it was when I first started. So it's like I really have to stay there and wash dishes the whole time. So now while I washing dishes, I watching the chefs cook. And I was like, that easier than this. Like, they getting paid more than me. So I don't keep watching them. A week later after prepping, they put me to do like desserts and salads and stuff, and I guess you could say 8 years later, I went to Taste of Secret. Yeah.
That's good. Okay, well, I mean, we asked and we got the story, and this is encouraging to anybody, young people, anybody watch this, that he didn't let his mistake hinder him. He moved on, and he grabbed a hold of the opportunity, and look what he's doing now with himself. So that's a plus. I know you went to school. I know that, but I just asked just to, But
truth be told.
yes, and you have anything you want to ask the young man?
You really climb up the ladder. I mean, you really climb up the ladder from where you leave from to where you are now. And, a lot of other people should learn from your lesson. You have a story that you
You
could
should
tell.
write a book on that.
Yeah, you have a story you could tell and go further, because that's a serious ladder you climb. And at no point you even seem like you wanted to go back down the ladder or slip off. You just seem like, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna do this. And I mean, that's a serious story, man, and enough respect.
Respect.
And then look at you today. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
you on top of the cooking industry right now.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I thought I was just getting chef, but I getting a lot more, a lot of meat.
Positive.
Everybody say, yes, a lot of meat from this year. This is really good. And what about you? I know about you, but share with the audience about you.
So I want to start it off. How I meet Mark was in Balta, and they hired him to fire me.
Knock it along.
They hired him to fire me because the head chef at the time did not like the fact that I could have cooked food better than him.
Okay.
That's how I met Mark.
All right.
And now he's brothers.
Yeah.
So you kind of walk out backwards for the person that hired him.
Yeah. Truth be told. So, like Tiger said, yeah, we just met the first day. We did not see eye to eye. We didn't think it was gonna work, but at the end they said fire and ice to work because we both natural, we both positive people, and we're trying to be proactive. So in the end, it just all came together, and we're kind of inseparable now. You see what the dynamic duo can do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna get better.
But
That's all,
you share about your education and.
And with my education, I've always been into the hospitality industry. I consider myself a creature of hospitality. From middle school, I knew I wanted to be a chef, and I was in the States, in Florida at that time. And I realized one day in my 8th grade class that computers can't ever cook. And they ain't gonna never be able to cook better than me. So I said, this would be my craft, and I always enjoy serving people, whether it be front of the house or back of the house, and just tending to people and making sure they're safe. And the food now, that was just my niche. I really enjoy the chemistry, the biology of food, and how people come together for the smallest reasons just because of the stomach. And that always fascinated me, so that's where I stuck with that. I went to college. I first enrolled in vocational school while I was in high school, so I wasn't in the industry early, and that skyrocketed me on the expectations and what I can do and what my future could be. And then I went to college, and that was another wonderful experience. I did my 4 years, got my culinary degree and my bachelor's in food service management, and that prepared me for the industry in many wonderful ways.
What college did you attend?
I attended Johnson and Wales. Yeah, repping.
Yeah.
But I've just always enjoyed taking care of people and tending to people, so it always came natural. And the food, like I said, a robot or a computer would never ever be able to do it better than a human hand. So it was just a conscious decision to be like, hey, this is something that everybody gonna need, and why not be the person to give it to them?
Well, I used to ask your mother sometime, because I'm his sister godmother, so your mother is my commodore.
Yeah, I still
And I
call
asked
you
him, yeah, you call me Nanny, but I always said, Blondell, where is Mark? Oh, Mark in some country, this country and that country. So tell us about
Yeah.
some of your travels.
Well, in all the time with being a creature of hospitality, I made sure I went as far as I could to experience the different cultures around the world. I've been to Amsterdam, China, a couple other places, all around the United States, East Coast, South, and on the West. And it was all wonderful experience that helped me to understand this hospitality industry we are in and how important agriculture is for this industry and for it to be sustainable, especially locally sourced, not imported products wherever you are, because it's always better at home. And that's one of the things I gained in all my travels, realizing that people didn't really look for what was out there. They sourced home and they had healthier diets, more jovial, just all around. Not to say that imported products aren't good, but home is where you start and that's where your heart is. So trust me, it's all there waiting for you already. Wherever you are, your locally sourced product is good. Get used to it. Make it part of your diet. Nurture it.
And I appreciate the fact that you know, when I spoke to Bryson, and Bryson is my cousin, but I haven't seen him since he was a baby, really. But just the fact that you all wanted to include Farmer Brown shows what you were saying. Exactly, the local produce and everything into the diet, really.
And on that, I have one thing to say about Sajah Farm and the Browns. Thank you for everything, because the foundation you're giving us now gave us the energy to be able to showcase what you all offer and show the results of good product. So we thank you for that.
Well, I had a question that you answered before I even asked the question, which was, I guess, your experience in travel is what made you decide to come back and decide to cook with local grown produce
Absolutely,
and stuff.
absolutely, because your local diet is something that you should always consider, because the last 2 years made me really realize too how important the agriculture is to the territory, because the storms that passed left us in dismay and at the mercy of what was coming in, because what was lost during that time. And in that time, I had so many different experiences, high and low, because the lines alone, if you wasn't in it in time, you wasn't getting anything. And if you didn't know the right person, you wasn't getting anything. And that helped me realize how important the agriculture is to support and take care of all year round, no matter what going on. Because once I made that switch to locally sourced, it alleviated all the other expectations. And I was granted that chance at Sajah Farm, so thank you.
And my way of
We're running out of time.
saying something about the situation with Sajah is like, I want to win Taste of St. Croix if it wasn't for them. Saying that to say because a lot of stuff about local vegetables I did not know. And I learned a lot from Dale Brown and Yvette. Just being on the farm, trying to do our little
Yeah,
lunch
making it
program.
happen. The proof is in the pudding.
Okay, one last question. What inspired you to do that layout with the three islands? What inspired you?
Well, Taste of St. Croix is based on like local everything. So I was saying if we plating food and it's supposed to depict something local, the only thing I could see it depicting would be the three Virgin Islands, St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John, because everybody are plating on a lot of the protein, which would be St. Croix mass capacity. They pour veg, which is a mixture of different anything. So we say like I use kohlrabi, zucchini, squash.
And you make it look hilly, like
Yeah.
St. Thomas.
Exactly. And now St. Thomas is like a mini New York. If you look at it, there's a bunch of different cultures in St. Thomas alone for as small of an island as it is.
So they'll make a
And
melting pot.
then St. John, I mean, it's small and it's mostly hilly. So that's why you see me take the rice sometimes into like an ice cream scoop.
And it's very
And it's-
fragrant.
and like everybody over there is more like kind of wealthy side. So like, you know, how you see like a white car or somebody dressing all white and they feel like they're luxurious. That's why I did the rice for St. John.
Thank you. Well, we ran out of time, but I really, really want to thank you all and congratulations again on the win.
Thank
And
you for having us.
I couldn't give up and that opportunity to have you all here, you know, and I really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for watching, and just keep an eye out on these two young men. I expect them to be opening their own business soon.
Sajah Farm right now, if you want to taste some of the finest food,
You
just
had
come
lobster
there.
the other day?
I have it for the rest of the week.
Oh gosh. So I know Sajah Farm ain't got the lobster, but you get local lobster, which is good.
Yeah, it comes out of our
Local.
water.
Yes.
So,
And then the rest is from Sajah Farm.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how can they order from you?
You could either look at my page, Tiger Bryson, or you could look at Sajah Farm's page, Sajah Farm VI on Facebook. You could text, or I'd rather you text me at 227-9462, 340 before all of that. That's the
Say it
best
again,
way.
say it over.
340-227-9462.
Okay, you got that right here, and no attitude. Everything positive and no attitude.
I learned a lot.
Okay, and what about you?
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've known Mark all these years, but I gotta go try tasty food now.
I ate from Mark already, I ain't get from you yet. So. Mark could turn any little thing into something.
Well, you'd be surprised. You have tasted our hand many times.
No, I'm talking about up by the house, by your sister house up in
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, anyway, thank you all again for watching, and have a good evening.